So yeah, the wine glasses, or the glasses in general on the table. So the first glass that is on the table that I showed you was the champagne glass, and this is typically the glass that is used in the beginning of the meal, where they pour champagne in this glass, and most of the time champagne is served chill and cool. So to keep that and to keep it bubbling, you hold it here. Okay, because once you start holding here, the heat of your body will warm it up, and then it won't taste as fabulous, honey. So you want to show that you know exactly what you're doing by holding your champagne like this. And the reason that the glass, or you know, the model is like this is to keep the bubbles while you're bubbling on your champagne. Okay, sip it, honey, sip it. And then we have the white wine glass, which is also a little bit deeper, and it's a bit it's a bit different compared to this glass over here. Okay, you can see that the sizes are pretty much different, and the thing with white wine as well is that it's served cool. So most of the time it's out of the fridge with the right temperature, and then you want to keep it cool again, so you hold it here as well. So you hold it like this, you smell and enjoy joie de vivre. All right, so hold it like this and just enjoy your white wine. Try not to hold it like this again, because your body heat will ruin a little bit of the taste. Most of the time, if it's a good wine, you will feel it. And then there is the biggest glass at the table. This one is for the red wine, and it's always like, it reminds me like of a big blossoming flower. Most of the time, all glasses, they're always big because they need space. The red wine has such a character that it needs space to breathe and unfold itself. So we have this glass. And this one in particular, you can hold like this, because red wine most of the time is served with the right amount of temperature. It's very complicated when it comes to these temperatures, but red wine is never cold. It's served with just the perfect temperature, and to keep that and to keep it opening up to you and engaging with you, you want to keep your fingers here. It's okay to keep some of your fingers here, so it can, you know, intertwine with you. You can collide with your red wine, honey, you know, enjoy like this. And most of the time I try not to place my fingers all over the glass, because it just makes it look tacky and greasy and everything, because I moisturize. So I would try and just hold it like this, and remember to hold it like this. So once I see like my greasy little finger here, I will place it back, and then we can drink. And if you're wearing lipstick or lip gloss, try to sip from the same place that you did, okay? And then there is the glass for water, and this is typically on the table most of the time, most of the evening, whether you're, you know, whether you're having juice or anything, there is always a glass of water, just in case that you are in need of water, or you just don't drink or whatever. So there's a, you know, water glass, and you try also to just keep that intact and not very greasy. All right. So now you've gotten your food. You got your entree, you got your salad. So like I demonstrated before, you want to use the right, you know, the right cutlery for your entree. Okay, so we eat like this. All right, we do not put our elbows on the table while eating. We eat like this, and then if we're done, I will just demonstrate. When you're done, I'll showcase it. You place your cutlery like this. If you're done eating, you place it like this, or you can also do it like this. depending on what suits you. And in between, in between meals, you can sit with your elbows on the table and have a, and continue the conversation. All right. And when the conversation is juicy and it's really flowing, don't raise your voice to shout, or when you're having a discussion, don't raise your voice to be heard. Just use the same voice tone that you use. This is a dinner. This is not a political discussion in a political place. If we're talking about politics, we can still talk about politics with good manners. So don't shout, use the same voice tone. Keep your posture. If you get offended, or if you feel like somebody is provoking you, use your tone, because there is a certain way you can address people by using your tone and using certain words. If you, on the other hand, feel like you're having a conversation and the person is getting too personal, or they're getting uncomfortable, you will use your body language to let them know, you're crossing my line. We're not about to go there, and I'm not about to give you the reasons to go there. Don't test me. We're not about to fight. That's not what we do. Use your body language. Body language tells a lot, guys. You can be very firm and tell them, listen, you're crossing my boundaries. I do not want to interact with that. It's not in your area to question my whatever. So please leave me alone. Yeah. And if this is not working, you let the host know, me and this person are not seeing eye to eye, and this is becoming a problem, and it's disturbing the whole dinner here. If I may excuse myself, and you leave the dinner, all right, just go home and everything will be fine. Don't ever lose your cool in a gathering just because someone is just being rude, for the sake of being rude, because we have a lot of people out there, they feel like once they hit a certain nerve, they want to keep digging until they pull you apart. So don't do that. Don't engage with that. Either you're firm and tell them, like, listen, I'm gonna call you out. I can see your bullshit, so please leave me alone. If you're at a fancy date, and your date turns out to be, rude or just makes you feel uncomfortable, and say, listen, my friend, thank you for this dinner, but I just don't feel comfortable around your presence. I want to end this night, and I don't feel like we should be, going on any dates anytime, any soon, right? So that's what you do. Like, don't ever let anybody make you lose your cool just because. So we're not doing this. We're not, we're not pouring water, wine, or anything in anybody's face. That's for the movies, all right? We're not doing that here, okay? If somebody really gets you on your nerve, like if really they're stepping on you, just remove yourself from the situation and move along, because it's not worth it at the end of the day. Don't speak while you're eating. Chew. Swallow your food and then talk, okay? Don't do it at the same time. Don't talk and chew your food at the same time. Listen, I'd rather you spit on me a little bit here than you with your spit, than you spitting on me with your chewed food. No, I do not. Okay, so don't do that. And one thing I forgot to tell you before going to a dinner or date, just remember to eat something before you leave the house. Why? Because it would just give you a certain of calmness. It will make you focus on what you're engaging in. So, and it will also prevent you from looking like somebody who hasn't had dinner for days. Okay? I usually eat a banana before going out because I feel like banana really like ease the hunger. And then I'm more attentive, more like present at the dining table, and I'm more calm and collected. Okay, so just have a little something in your stomach before leaving the house, so you don't get overwhelmed. Let's say you're a friend, you know, your friend invited you to this fine dine, and the chicken is taking a little bit longer, the roasted chicken is taking a bit longer or something like that, and you start being irritated because you're hungry, not because you're visiting your friends, but because you're hungry, and the only thing that you can conversate about with the rest of the guests is when is the food ready. But to just not be that person, just eat a little before you attend your dinner. Also, if it's a date, if you're nervous, for my own sake, I've always like had a little something to eat on my way or just before I leave the house to calm my nerves, okay? Then once you left the house, remember, if you're going to your friend's place, especially, you know, friends or whatever, if you're invited to a dinner, bring something. Never ever come empty-handed. We do not do that. We're not doing that. We're not coming empty-handed, because why should we? We're invited to somebody's house. They made an effort for us to be there. They invited us into their private spaces. We want to show gratitude. So if they consume alcohol, bring a bottle of wine. If they don't, bring a bouquet of flowers, and they will be grateful. Okay, again, good manners. The next thing you want to be aware of is when to take breaks. Okay, you want to take breaks between every single meal. That's when you can actually take up your phone, answer your messages, or take pictures with whoever is near you, or excuse yourself to go to the bathroom, touch up on your hair, touch up on your face, because you don't want to do it while you're eating, or you don't want to do it at the table even though there is no food. It's just, again, germs. You don't want to mix this with what you're eating. Sometimes you get bread, so when you're eating your bread, you do not eat it with, you know, knife and fork. You use your hands. And if you pet your wig, or if you scratch yourself and then you take it doesn't look good. So if you want to touch up, just go to the bathroom. And the same goes with, you know, stuff stuck in your teeth. Before actually eating, always wait on the person that is hosting the dinner to eat. So how they will show you that the dinner is ready is actually taking the napkin and placing on their lap. So now we're ready, and once they start eating, you eat. Another thing is to remember to greet people. For men, stand up. If the lady arrives, stand up and just, you know, greet them, and always read the crowd. If we're hugging, that's what we're doing. If we're kissing, that's what we're doing. If we're handshaking, that's what we're doing. Never too much, never too little. Just read your crowd. Another thing is to make sure that, I've talked about this, and the whole mobile phone while we're eating. I don't want to see you doing like this. Again, there is a time and place for that. If it's a fine and fancy and we are finessing it, this is not the thing. You're not about to like FaceTime your friend and tell them that you're fine sitting at a fancy restaurant with a fine lady, or like if I've, you know, somebody, the host has invited you in their, you know, their house, and you're out here trying to show off their houses. I know we're in 2022, and I know that social media is the way to show out our living, but some people do not like to showcase their lives on social media, and you have to respect that. So before doing this, ask first, okay? Ask, would it be okay if I, you know, film or whatever? Because nowadays everybody is okay with it, but just remember to ask. That's good manners. Just don't start filming all over the place assuming that everybody's okay with it. Not everybody is comfortable being on the camera. Not everybody is comfortable sharing their private spaces on the camera. So just ask. When you're when you're the kind of person who's timid and shy, or when you're not very good at starting conversations, just sit and listen. If it's you know, a gathering of people, sit and listen. There is so much you can take in. There is so much you can learn from people and reflect on in terms of your own opinion, and then you can, you know, chime in whenever you feel like it's, you know, it's convenient for you. There's no pressure, because I've seen, like, when people suddenly get in an awkward situation where they feel like they have to talk and they don't know what to talk about, or they don't know the subject of you know, of the conversation, they pull out their mobile phones and then they just sit. It's like rude. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'd rather have you sit and just listen, okay? Be attentive, like be there, be present. Just at a dinner where people are having really good, meaningful conversation, it's very rude to just sit like this. So just sit quiet and enjoy the dinner. Once the dinner is finished, the host will always place the napkin on the table just to showcase that there is no more food coming and everything, you know, we just ended the dinner. So it will be here, and the conversation will maybe, you know, go continue over drinks, or we're done for today and thank you. If the conversation do continue, please please, for all of you who consumes alcohol, just know your alcohol, like know your limits, okay? You don't want to be that person who's just gets drunk and is all over the place. It's just not. You start mumbling and you start talking gibberish and you talk nonsense because you're drunk at a dinner. Like, there's a time and place. If you have friends that you want to get hammered with at some point, do that. But a fine dining at your friend's place, or a fine dining at a restaurant, you seriously do not want to be that person who's like all over the place and falling. Imagine you come here, you looked great, or you look great and you look presentable, and then after 2, 4, 5 drinks, and then you're like all over the place, your hair is all over, like, you're vomiting. Don't do that. Don't do that. Like, I wouldn't invite you to anything, whether it's a restaurant or at my place, if I see you doing all of these things. Why are you exposing yourself like that? Like, why? Know your liquor. If you know that one glass of wine is what gets you going, that's it, and continue with water. Nobody's gonna laugh at you. Nobody's gonna make fun of you just because you're drinking water the whole night. And if they are, you're just gonna tell them, listen, I know myself and I know my body, and I know that that's the amount of alcohol that I can consume. And if people are embarrassing themselves, we're not doing that. Soft life means that you're enjoying your company, you're enjoying everything that is around you, and you don't have to be drunk to do that. No, you really don't. So enjoy your beverages with a peace of mind. Enjoy your drinks with a peace of mind of, you know, I'm here to have this dinner with people I care about and I love, and I don't want to expose myself in such a disgusting and distasteful way by being drunk. I really like, there is nothing more atrocious than a full-grown man and a full-grown woman who is drunk. I do not contend. Like, it's I really don't like that. You can get tipsy, yeah, but we all function differently when we're tipsy, so even that I wouldn't even like say that we should be doing. But just enjoy your alcohol and know yourself, all right? If you're late, please call the person, tell them, hey, I'm 5 minutes late. Hey, I'm stuck in traffic. I'll be there in 10 minutes. Never like extend that. 15 minutes late, people will leave. That's disrespectful. Even if you're going to a person's place, a house, again, they put in the effort to invite you at 6. You're not coming at 7. You're not coming at 6:30. What are you, Jesus? No, even Jesus did not come late. So please respect people's time. Please respect people's time. I used to want to be late, but the older I got, and And the man in my life that I have, he is not one to be late. So he actually was a key point in telling me how the importance of actually valuing other people's time. So don't be late. Don't show up as if the world revolves around you. It doesn't. It really doesn't. So I can go on and on and on about this, and I'm sure that there are a few things that I have forgotten, and maybe one day we'll make a number 2, and maybe one day we'll dig into the wines as well, which is a very interesting subject. But I really hope that I give you some tips and tricks that you can do and use to finesse the dinner, because that's what we want. So please enjoy, and if I forgot anything, please write it down below, because sharing is caring. Okay, we want to finesse dinners here. So without any further ado, I will see you soon, and please subscribe, share, like, comment, all the love that you can give. I am here for it. So thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bisous, bye.